So I've been absolutely obsessed with dialogues the moment they were introduced into the game, and I made a test script for a dialogue that I showed you guys in the last video. Got a soundboard here, you can adjust the tempo, you can play any sound here in the game. For example, let's speed up one. Where's cat? Wait, did I end up calling this chat? The heck? No way! Well, I fixed it. Nice. That wouldn't have worked in the last video, by the way. You just have to adjust that. Be sure to subscribe if you like. I'm here to help you guys learn the more obscure technicalities that have been implemented in the game. And this is one of them, dialogues. So I understand a lot of you guys are still completely perplexed by dialogues and what they are as a feature in the game, what you can do with them. So I press escape here and you can see in the game menu, I've got Minecraft in dialogue. This obviously has never been there, but I've implemented that into the pause menu. If I click it, you can see Minecraft in dialogue, Phoenix SE, start. You can download this. I don't know if it's gonna work still in the full release of 121.6, but we shall see. You can also activate the screen with the G button, the new quick action tag, and if I click start here, you can see I've got a whole bunch of buttons here that are just gonna flood the screen now. But if you look kind of closely at it, it looks a little bit familiar. So if I just scroll here, you can see I've got a whole bunch of buttons here that kind of look like directional keys, and this screen itself might look a little bit familiar as well. This is, a matter of fact, what you're looking at exactly mimicked by the dialogue. I'll just adjust the GUI scale and I'm going to remove the button's texture. So you already know that there is a tree here. So there's the tree. We've got a bunch of grass here. We've got a dirt block perhaps. And I believe this might be a flower. There might also be a flower. So if I just look over here, there is a flower right there. And there is a flower right in front of that tree. So if I change my perspective again, let's log that field. And there we go. The tree is still there. We've got maybe a mound to my left and the flower's right in front of me. You can see that it's closer. So there are a lot more squares that illustrate this. All right, there's a lot of stuff happening in this data pack. So once you apply it, you can examine how I did all of this. I've just put this on my test world. You can look into it. You can learn how to make dialogues and how to apply certain features into it dynamically. All right, so we've got a nice cherry tree here. So again, we'll get a snapshot of this. And there we go. You can see the beautiful pink leaves. The entire shape is outlined right there. So what I'll do is I'll turn on the darkness here. And just like that, you can definitely see the shape of the log with the perspective. You can see from the field of view, the leaves up here. We've got the logs, beautiful blossoms, and the green grass underneath. All right, so we'll do one more and I'll explain how this is entirely interactive as well. This is Minecraft in its simplest form in a dialogue. All right, there should be a cave here. Yeah, there are plenty of caves. Oh, let's do this. Random birch log on a mountain. All right, there we go. We've got that random birch log that's showing up. What is this? Which one is it getting? Oh, I might be getting that one. Yeah, all right. It's definitely those ones. We'll break this so we get a nice gray background behind the birch log. Turn this on. There we go. Now you can see that random birch log and the dark gray backing, which is of course the stone. All right, I'm gonna explain how this is all interactive as well. So if I click on any of these buttons, because they are buttons being a dialogue, I know this is a birch log. So if I click on it, it is going to mine that block and you can see immediately that block disappears from view. If I take off this carved pumpkin, you can see that it has been mined completely. Let's place some of these over here. And so if I mine each one, let's do this one, and this one. They're all gone. All three are mined in front of me. So we'll pick those up. Each flower is color coded as well. So let's stand over here. This is the cornflower and that's a dandelion. It's a lot bigger because it's in front of me. I'll just keep the darkness away for a second and let's pick them all up. So there's a sea of light blue on the top left-hand corner of this screen. That's because even though you can see there's grass over there, there is a limit to what I'm detecting in front of me. To make this run as efficiently as possible, I decided to make certain concessions and I'll explain all of that in a little bit as I go through this. All right, let's go through the flat world here with the bedrock. Oh no, that's not bedrock. That is deep slate. The grid aligns beautifully. Okay, so we've got the grass here, the deep slate, and the stone. I'm afraid I only limited this to overworld naturally generating blocks. You know what? I'll add endstone to this. I did add netherrack just for fun, but endstone, I didn't. Endstone will show up now. There we go. Because I know I did netherrack, but I didn't do things like warped stem, which I'll put over here. And so what happens when I press start? So endstone's here, netherrack is here, but you can see some X's here because the data pack does not recognize this block, but you can obviously add them in if you want. I want to do one more. Jack Black time. All right, I'll see how this turns out. I guess there's not much of a difference between purple and magenta, but the magenta is within the nether portal. We've got the portal outline. We've got the fire here. Oh, the obsidian is sitting on grass, which turns it into dirt, but it really shouldn't be visible. But there we go. If we break this, I'm afraid that does break unbreakable blocks, so whatever. So what I'll do now is I'll place a village plains in front of me. So, oh my God. Yeah, you can't get in your house, you doofus. All right, let's do an isolated house here. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'm going to show you that this house is picking up inside this dialogue. And there are buttons here on the bottom which are directional keys for the player. So you, the camera, I guess. So I'm assuming this is the torch in front of the house, is it? Yeah, it is. Okay. We have the torch here, we have the roof, we've got the cobblestone, we have the grass, the dirt path on the left. I'm gonna click this button, which will basically move the player left. And you can see the house moves to the right, and that's obviously what's going to happen. So the house is appearing to move towards you now. It's almost completely gone. So we can move right. There we go. That moves back into view. I want to get into the front of the house. So let's do this. That's obviously the door. To do that, I need to rotate my camera to the right. So the yaw, which are these buttons, and the pitch, which is obviously not going to be used here. So if I move right, you can see that I've suddenly, wow, that was that was perfect. If I just move a bit to the right, I don't know. I feel like I am facing the front of the house. I'm going to jump forward here. I don't know if I'm climbing the stairs. Am I climbing the stairs? I'm getting really close to the house now. We shall see. I am right in front of the house. That's what I thought. Okay, so that worked really well. And so let's just press start again, and I can break this torch here. Let's just massacre this house now. Get rid of the stairs. We'll try to enter the house. Let's do that. All right, let's move forward here. See if I can do it. Can I do it? I'm in creative, so I'm probably just gonna clip through it. Jump in. Am I inside it? I see the torch, the interior torch. I think I'm in. This must be the plank base inside the house. Let's go in survival. Oh, I'm suffocating. I don't know. Let's just rotate. So it's a 30-degree angle. So I'll do this 6 times to face the front. This looks like the dirt path. 5, 6. I don't know. I feel like I failed. Oh, I'm not even in the house yet. Oh, whatever. All right, so let's just go in. Yeah, that's the white bed. We can break the bed here if we want. Now the bed's gone. So there's the ground. I'm standing up here. We've got the torch right on the ceiling. All right, beautiful. I'm gonna explain everything and how this works, and hopefully you guys get a better picture of what dialogues can do and how powerful they are. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna enable all of the markers that are detecting my field of view. So here are all the particles that are clearly showing exactly what I was looking at before. So it was kind of like this when I was looking at the composter. And so each individual marker is going to check whether there's a block that it can see. And if it can see a block, it's going to color code it as part of the grid in this GUI. Come on, dude. All right, let's do this house here. So let's click start. Now it's creating a completely different set of markers. All right, so we've got the markers that are fired through the ground. Some have hit the logs here. Some have hit the roof and the cobblestone, the logs here as well. And the ones that I've missed have sort of just gone to the left here. So we've got about a 16 block differential between the player location and where they are now. Which is why if I really wanted to, I could set all these guys out into the distance, but it's really not practical for this thing. I guess this one will make quite a bit of sense. So we'll do this one. So this grid is missing some of the blocks on the left and right, but it's created a circle of grass blocks because this is a spherical range. And then the brown here is indicative of the roof of this house. These buttons here simply teleport the player as if you're pressing WASD. But what's most important here is the grid. Now, obviously what I've done is I've gotten rid of the buttons through a resource pack. There's no need for a resource pack. I'm only doing that because it allows you to see the picture more closely, but this works just the same. So with each marker, once it knows what block it's sitting on, because I've written a series of tags, very roughly though, it will determine the color of the block and it will store it in here. And with all of this, 576 of these, 16 by 9 by 2, I'm taking all of this storage and I'm building the dialogue for it, just like this. So as you can see, it's all rather simple if you know what you're doing, if you kind of know what you're doing with dialogues. So that's all there is to it. You don't really need too much with this. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm obsessed with dialogues and I've been trying to do as much as I can with them. And this is one of the first things that came to mind. And I just had to try it out. So got pseudo night vision going. Hopefully this inspires you guys to build something very beautiful with dialogues, because I think this is a fantastic feature that needs to be democratized in some way. Subscribe. Good luck.